the coach to get a result, and I expect him to get the result today.
That was Rafik Saifi going through your shot there. Desiri is fit to play. A mention as well of Omar Belbey. Remember, we saw him get that terrible looking injury towards the end of the game. Well, he's on the bench. He was fit for selection. It's incredible, but it's great news too.
It is, because he was absolutely out of it. He was unconscious, and I was worried for him when they carried him off to the waiting ambulance. But news is good. You know, he's back into the squad. He's well, and I'm pleased to say he's back on the bench tonight. But strange one, you know, Tasfaoud has been disappointed, but Ibrahim Safour is he's not even, doesn't look as if he's on the bench. I'm just looking at the lineup of the substitutes, and I can't see him on the bench either. So that might be an injury as well. But all the pressure, as I say, on Algeria. They must get a result tonight. They've got to respond to that defeat in the opening match against Nigeria, and I fully expect them to do that tonight here.
Well, Algeria, if they draw, they have a chance, but they really need to win. They have the game, remember, against Mali to come. They'd certainly need to win that one. A win here would put them back in a great position. And there he is, George Weah. If we believe those reports, then he won't be playing for Liberia again after this tournament. It'll be very, very sad. He's driven them so far. He drove them towards the edge of World Cup qualification as well. They just came up short in the last couple of games against Nigeria and Ghana. But Weah has been a great servant, well, a great controller of Liberian football over the past few years. He's put money in, his own money. He's captained the side, he's managed it. They've had great success while he's been in charge. Before this tournament, it was 14 wins in 18 games with Weah in charge. And it's sad, really, that it's come to this for a player of his calibre.
Absolutely, but he has been an outstanding player, not just in Liberia, but worldwide. His name, his reputation has been fantastic. And again, it is sad that it's come down to this, but football will continue. And there is a real star for me, Rafik Saifi, who plays his football in Troyes. What a wonderful left foot this guy's got. Great skill, great balance, fantastic player.
So we're ready. Mohamed Bradja, the central defender from Troyes. He'll be at the heart of that Algerian backline alongside Mahidine Mefta. And we expect Yassine Slatni. Two players who've come in, Zegdoud and Slatni, are both defensive players.
Yeah.
So whether that means Saifi will join Ghazi up front. Ghazi pretty much ploughing a lone furrow with both Tasfaoud and Saifi behind him, or whether madjer has decided to go really defensive. And that would be a surprise against Liberia, who didn't look much of an attacking threat against Mali.
Might play three central defenders and play with wing backs and push on. That's my bet, I would guess. I hope so, because they've got great technique and skill and talent. Look at that in the opening game. Players who want to show their skill. And we need, you know, the quality. We need the brightness. And that was Slatni who was looking to push forward.
Well, Saifi looked to be a bit of a show-off against Nigeria. In this tournament, we quite like show-offs, and it's played forward, and the flag went up. Forward towards Deba from Weah. The two experienced players linking, and it was close.
He played it first time, George Weah, and it's very tight, and the linesman's perfectly positioned. You've got to go with his decision. I think he was probably just about right. He was just offside.
Deba plays along with Weah for Al Jazeera in the United Arab Emirates. And the player who's expected to take over the mantle from them for Liberia is Frank Seator. For the moment, he'll be taking over the mantle from the bench. Now, Desiri played it right back in the last game, but he seems to have started this game playing much further forward, Bilal Desiri.
Maybe there's a change of tactics and there's a change of thought, because they look a lot more offensive, Algeria. And again, the coach and the players know they must win this game to have a chance of qualifying. And that's pressure.
Well, before today, 5 goals in 10 games in the Nations Cup. 6 of those opening 10 games, 0-0 draws. It has not been a feast of goals. And that's what we've come to expect over the past few years. Now, Yazid Mansouri. They will work very, very hard, the Algerian side. Desiri now. Almost turned himself inside out. Hack away by Jimmy Dixon in the end. Challenge was from the new man, Zegdoud. Zegdoud was an ever-present in the qualifiers. It was something of a surprise when he didn't play the opening game. One of their more experienced players, 31 years old now. Madjer hoping to become the second man to win this tournament as a player and a coach. Mahmoud Al-Ghahari of Egypt was the first. Another weak clearance from Gayawi. Looking for Slatny.
Well, he's pushing forward, Slatny. He's not going to play as a normal defender. He's going to push forward on this right-hand side. Very much an attacking Algerian side.
And the first attack for them. It wasn't a bad effort on the turn from Saifi.
Oh, he's got great skill on his left foot, cracks it, just creeps over the top of the crossbar, but you can see their intentions, attitudes have changed. They're really up for it.
Flag again, that time against Desiri.
He's limping, Dave. Do you remember when he slipped when he was doing that little Cruyff turn, and he's not really moving too fluently at the moment. You can see here he's not really offside. I think when the ball's played, it's another touch and go decision, but there is a player trying to get back from an offside position. That's Farid Ghazi. Little touch from Saifi.
Well, Desiri, remember, went off injured in the last game. It was he who Belby replaced.
I'm just watching him now. He's still limping. He's still carrying that leg. I wonder, was it his groin? He might have pulled a little muscle there, trying to shake it off.
Throw in to be taken by George Gebro. It's Mansouri, and they'll need to do better than that. The heart of that Liberian back three is Zizi Roberts, the converted striker, who was magnificent against Mali. Talking of Mali, we should comment on the atmosphere. It's the same stadium, the March the 26th, but compared to when the home side are playing, total difference.
Absolutely.
You expect that to a certain extent, but not to this level. 60,000 here, and can't be much more than 10 here tonight. Desiri, very versatile. Now Kraouche. Again, he's pushed far forward, Slatny, and this is Saifi.
Oh, look, the free kick.
It's Deva who's chasing, and weah as well. Two experienced campaigners there. weah at 35 and Mefta, the 33-year-old. Now Bilal Desiri looking to launch Saifi, who's going to hit it first time. Always wants the spectacular Rafik Saifi, but couldn't quite connect that. Flicked on by Edward Dixon. Hadou trying to clear it away. Remember, Hadou didn't have a great game, and they're in again because of Hadou. And Liberia have the lead. The error by Algeria, and it's Prince Dye. A regal finish from the Bastia player, and Prince Dye has given Liberia a shock lead here. Liberia lead Algeria by a goal to nil.
Well, all the pressure coming from Algeria in the opening stages of the game, and the first real opportunity at the other end. And you've got to say it is a mistake. It's an error, a defensive error, but Prince Dai has capitalised on it big time. First to the ball, gets across, and his composure here is great. He knows what he wants to do, gets it on his favourite left foot, and he sticks it in the back of the net. But a lot of questions going to be asked about the defence of the Algerian side.
And for the first time in the tournament, we have an early goal.
But will it be more than one goal? And Slatny doesn't look too confident, he doesn't look too comfortable with the way he's made the challenge. And I feel that he's really been caught out big time. Looked very cumbersome. But what a great finish from Prince Dai.
And a celebration to die for. Not quite as good as Agahoa, but obviously one he'd practiced. Looked very lively in the opening game, Prince Dai. And he's been called over the past few years the next weah, and they decided to stop calling that because it was putting too much pressure on him. Maybe it's proved wise. Now Desiri. Algeria have to come and chase it a little bit now, and that can only be good for the game, Jerry.
Absolutely. I think Algeria know now that they've got not just a mountain to climb, but it's a big mountain to climb.
Way by Zegdoud. They're just rocked a little bit by that, Algeria.
Well, Saifi can do something. He's the one that has the talent that could create something for Algeria. But their confidence, you know, they've got to be absolutely stunned by that. Mohamed Braja, another Trois player, plays alongside Saifi.
And remember, if Algeria lose this game, they are out of the tournament. They'd be the first big name to go out. This is the response from them. It's only Desiri in the centre, though. The only real centre forward is Farid Ghazi.
Well, he's playing up front in his own, although we know that Saifi is supporting him and playing up there. But you've got to get other players busting the gut to get into the box. In saying that, the service has got to be good. It's got to be better than it was in the last game. And I felt that, and I still do feel that that's one of the problems a lot of teams have got. Creation on the final third. There's a good example of it there. And
it's the bad side of Saifi, isn't it? That he just tries to do too much sometimes. They can come again, though, with Deba. And Deba's played it forward to Prince Dai. Oh. Two great chances. He put the first one away, but couldn't do that here.
Well, that's another chance. His standing leg actually goes just as he's about to pull the trigger, and he can't get the foot, can't chip it over the advancing Gaoui in the Algerian goal. But that's another great chance. You can see their tactics as well. They're going to absorb pressure and play on the counter-attack, and they've got the pace to do it.
It's all Liberia at the moment. Ten minutes played and they might be two up. Here comes Desiri for Algeria. Ghazi's in the centre. He's arguing that it should be a corner. He'd pulled away from the near post and was never going to be able to drag it back, really.
No, you're right, he was well in front of the near post, but I'm disappointed because there's not enough of support, as I just mentioned earlier, as we look at Prince Dai's wonderful opening goal. There's just not enough support coming into the box for Algeria. I think Ziri would have liked to have 2 or 3 options on that occasion. He only had the one, and it wasn't a very good one.
Saifi. They need to get him on the ball as much as possible. Here he is again, Saifi. Slatny bursting forward. Desiri once again is the target at the far post, and this is Bilal Desiri. Still Desiri, but comfortable for Creighton. Now weah. And what a player he still is.
Kiss of death, Dave, you've just given him there. He's done all the hard part, and then the little layoff was just too high.
He's got to have lost something over the years.
He's still a star though, isn't he?
Still the only player to have won the World Player of the Year, the Ballon d'Or and the African Player of the Year in the same year. It may well be a while before someone else does that.
Well,
Saifi has gone down.
Taking a hefty challenge.
And that is a worrying sight for Rabah Madjer.
Cameroon referee is trying to get him back on his feet, and eventually he does clamber back to his feet.
The Algerians would hope that it's just a knock and he'll be able to run it off. As if Saifi went off, then you'd feel that the tournament was leaving with him.
Well, you can see here, it's a clash of legs there, and it's actually this goal scorer Prince Day who actually accidentally catches him on the knee.
Braja. Mansouri gives it away. Touch from Deba. They look much livelier than they did in their opening game, Liberia. This is Slatny. Again, drifting it forward. And the challenge concedes the corner. And another knock. This time the challenge by Zizi Roberts, who's a real strong customer, and no corner.
Well, he's off the park, and the referees allowing play to continue.
They've got to get round and help him. And
well,
they are
a bit
doing
slow to
now.
react, though, aren't they? They've got to say, the Algerian bench.
Now Braja. Saifi. Still trying to work out who it is down. I think it's Ghazi.
Looked like Ghazi.
Desiri now. Great play from Saifi. Now weah. Deba. 230-somethings linking up. This is Edward Dixon. Akrour scored in the famous win over Ghana when they won in Accra.
There is
Ghazi.
Well, he tries to cut across, and this last-ditch challenge, you can see he does catch him on the leg. It's accidental for me, but that's a nasty one on the front of the shin. And Farid Ghazi's really struggling there, isn't he?
Long ball for Desiri. This is a side issue. I think the replay showed us it was a corner.
Yeah, it looked a corner, but I mean, what about the challenge from Zizi Roberts? He's a no-nonsense, no-messing centre-half, isn't he?
And he spent long enough on the receiving end. Started out as a striker, went to Milan, and then on to Monza and Ravenna in Serie B. And then he converted to a central defender and a new lease of life. And he's only 23. Worried-looking Rabah Madjer.
It's a good piece of skill from Edward Dixon.
That was the long ball for Desiri, who is pretty much playing as an out-and-out striker here.
He's pushed on an extra 20 yards, no doubt about it.
Now Mansouri. Saifi looking to feed it. Kraouche is the furthest forward. One of the young stars of the Algerian side, Kraouche. Ghazi has been attended to and looks okay to continue, at least for the moment. Now weah. Had those two spells in English football with Chelsea and Manchester City. Only 9 appearances under Joe Royle. It'd be fair to say that their footballing philosophies rather clashed.
I think George was looking to play every game, wasn't he? And Joe was looking at him as a squad player.
Scored in his debut in the Premiership for Chelsea against Tottenham. They're telling them to press. This is Edward Dixon. Forward towards Deba. Away by Zegdoud. Now Bilal Desiri.
Oh, he's got no chance. I mean, that's just crazy play. Trying to knock it down the line and get on the end of it. Jimmy Dixon was the cover player. It was going to be easy for him to pick that one up.
They're asking Desiri to get through an awful lot of work tonight. Hadou's throw. And poor Hadou was responsible for, at least partly, for the goal against Nigeria. Missed a sitter after Saifi had set it up and gave the ball away for the goal tonight. Now Desiri on the end of that. Away by Zizi Roberts. Saifi. The shot from Desiri, but always rising.
Well, it was a little bit hit and hope from Desiri. Well outside the area. And I think if Liberia can contain him to shots from outside the area, he'll be very pleased. But like you said earlier, Dave, I just feel that for me, there's one player, Rafik Saifi, who could really open them up, and they've got to get him on the ball at every opportunity. Got to get him on the ball at every opportunity. He's no slouch either, to James Deba. Like the little formation they've got where they're playing one up front, James Deba, and Prince Dai in the hole behind with George Weah as a floating player also, and that's causing problems. Hard of the defenders pick them up.
Ship wide by Ghazi. There is time for Algeria. Now Saifi. Little ball forward from Ghazi, and kraouche with the shot.
Starting to see more of him now, just gambling, pushing forward, taking a chance to get into the box. Great defending as well, though, you've got to say, from Liberia. A lovely piece of skill here from Saifi. Clever reverse pass from Ghazi, and then kraouche looking to get the shot off, and again look at the frustration on the coach Rabah Madjer's face.
And what can they do from the corner? Oh, it was overhit. It's been a common theme so far in the tournament. And down goes Edward Dixon. Plays in the French 4th division for Beauclair. Made his debut as a teenager, but won his 4th cap last year, 8 years after his first. 8 years after his first 3. Not a regular in recent years, Edward Dixon.
Maybe a late developer. Oh, kraouche, poor first touch.
Got away with it. Forward comes Mefta. kraouche's going to have a shot from there.
He caught hold of it, but again, it's very optimistic. He's, what, 35 yards at least. And you can see their intentions are good, but just not testing the goalkeeper enough for me. Lewis Clayton in the goal he's had a quiet time of it. I would probably guess that possession-wise, Algeria have had the majority of possession. But it's the scoreline's the important part, and they're losing 1-0.
The goal from Prince Dai in the opening 10 minutes. No side has scored more than 1 goal in a game in this African Nations Cup. The highest scoring game so far is the opening game. Mali 1, Liberia 1. There's all kinds of records that can be broken here. Forward by Gebro. Clearances by Zegdoud. Great turn by Ghazi. Now this is Saifi. He was just too strong for him.
He does tend to go to ground very easily though, Dave. That's one thing I've looked at. And
now it's his wrist that's hurting.
Looks if he wants to go off with that.
I don't know if he fell awkwardly. They got in each other's way there. Mefta got the clearance. Hadou completed it. The voice you can hear is that of Rabah Madjer, desperately trying to get instructions across to his players. Now ZZ Roberts. It was a good ball. Prince Di made something of it.
It's a great ball.
He's won a throw-in, the Prince.
It's a smashing challenge as well, Dave, from Slatny here. Have a look at this. Great challenge, wins the ball.
And the long throw.
Got to say it was better than the challenge he made for the opening goal.
He's going to make a change straight away. Madjer, there's something he's not happy with. Nassim Akrour, the striker, to come on. And I'm sure I heard Madjer say, you're going to play down the left.
So that means Saifi can't continue.
Well, Saifi is so good to watch. You hope it doesn't mean that. Oh, and the challenge, which Deba made a lot of. And it's going to be a free kick to Liberia. Pretty sure it was a foul, but...
Well, he was very theatrical in the leap. And the referee's bought it, and he's got himself a free kick.
Is it Ghazi who can't continue, I wonder? Yeah, that very heavy knock it is.
It is.
And Akrour can just replace it. It's an out-and-out striker. It's a blow, though, for Algeria. Farid Ghazi, experienced international and a real leader of the line. So Akrour from East in France made his debut only in December. The free kick for Liberia, unmarked!
Unbelievable.
What a chance! He will not get a better one. ZZ Roberts, striker turned defender. That was the finish of a defender.
Well, it was turned striker again because he did do well to get in on the end of it. But be disappointed that he hasn't put it in the back of the net. Now just look at the reaction though from Rabah Madjer. He knows that was a great chance and they could well have been 2-0 down.
And would there have been a way back? Now Saifi. Lovely skill. Kodjo. Now Prince Di. Deba challenged. Megdoud. Forward towards Deba. In fact, it was weah, and he was committing a foul. It's a big chance for Akrour. Play up front in place of Ghazi, but there's the chance.
But it's terrible mark, and there's 3 players have gone to the near post area, left him completely unmarked. He just tried to guide it past the goalkeeper, but it's, well, fortunately from Algeria's point of view, it's went straight into Ghawi's midriff.
And if he guided it anywhere else in the goal, it would have been a goal. Ghawi had no chance of reacting. He did fairly well to hold on to it as it is. Will they regret it, is the question. They can burst forward again. It's all Liberia at the moment. Header back by Mefta, but they're under real pressure here, Algeria.
Well, that early opening goal certainly seems to have stunned them, Dave, there's no doubt about it. But Liberia are not sitting back and trying to hang on to a 1-0 lead. Tactically, they've got a super system, look very solid at the back. They've got pace up front, and they'll just try and exploit any little error or mistake by this Algerian defence. There's been one or two.
Here's the goal scorer, Prince Dai. Slatney getting back. Real handful for Slatney. Goals do tend to follow Liberia around, at least recently. The last two friendlies before the tournament, each of them contained 9 goals. A 5-4 defeat by Mexico and a 7-2 defeat. Goals. A 5-4 defeat by Mexico and a 7-2 defeat by Tunisia. Don't think we'll get 9 here.
I'll take 6.
If we got 6, it would be more in one game than we'd had in the tournament. I'll take 2. Here's Dai. Now Deba.
It's clear.
He's got Dai inside him. Zegdood got across well and kept it in brilliantly. Mansouri finding Saifi. Now Moulay Hadou. Hadou encouraged to get forward down that left side now. Cross came Kojo though. The foul is by Akrour.
Well, Mansouri, they want to get on with it. They just want to get it down and get playing and see if they can get this goal back.
Now Desiree has drifted into the centre. Saifi is ahead of him. Aim towards a substitute, Akrour, and Akrour might be in here. Zizi Roberts and the goalkeeper Creighton. There's a real misunderstanding, but Akrour couldn't take advantage.
Oh, I thought he'd done well initially, Nassim Akrour. He was brave, there's no doubt about it. Lovely little dink in over the top of the defence. And it's a mistimed challenge, but I think Zizi Roberts' flailing leg maybe put Akrour off just there. Then he gets another touch on it, the keeper scrambles and somehow they manage to keep it out. That's a chance.
It was arguably foot up, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, a lot of these challenges we would see yellow cards, penalty kicks and red cards for, as we've said in the previous couple of days, but the referees have been very lenient with some of the challenges, and different continent, different set of interpretations.
Well, after the performance of the Ghanaian referee Alex Quarty last night, I reckon anything goes. In the Mali-Nigeria game, where, interpretation or not, we might have had 3 sendings off, a penalty. We got nothing.
Shurumba should have been sent off, definitely. I thought we should have had a penalty as well, but that's water under the bridge.
Is the game here going to be a bridge too far for Algeria? Slatney.
At the moment it looks that way, but only 1-0 down. Still got an opportunity to get back into this game, but not if they don't start threatening this Liberian defence a little bit more. And they've got to tighten up at the other end as well. Still too many errors being made.
Hoof clear there from Zegdood. A throw in for Liberia.
In actual fact, I've got to say, probably in the opening half hour in this game, I've seen probably more errors than I've seen in the last 3 or 4 games, because a feature for me is how well a lot of the teams has defended, look much better organised and fewer mistakes being made. But today we've seen 2 or 3, and one of them certainly has been punished. Fortunately, it was the number 2 Slatney who made the error. That's what's given Liberia the 1-goal lead.
Real clattering challenge there from Mefta. What can they do with the free kick? Played short to Edward Dixon. Deba didn't get it back though. Now Desiree wants someone to show for him. He was looking for Akrour.
Oh my goodness.
And Roberts didn't know where his goalkeeper was. And they've got away with that.
Well, I was just talking about errors, David. I've seen 4 or 5 now. And again, breakdown in communication. Goalkeeper's coming out and ZZ Roberts was trying to find him with a back pass.
Flag against Deba. Twice now the goalkeeper and his central defender misread each other. At least will please the Algerians.
Maybe there is hope we'll get a hatful of goals tonight.
Don't say that. Foul on Mansouri. Player that apparently Sunderland was showing an interest in. It's the first yellow card of the game from Divine Evehi. And it's James Deba who's the recipient. Worked back well from centre forward and paid the price.
I've seen worse challenges than that, Dave, I've got to say.
Be wrong, but I was fairly sure it was Sebwe who made that challenge and not Deba, the number 6. Try and confirm that for you. Now Saifi though. Always an air of anticipation when he gets the ball. Slatney has cut in field. Recovery, but kraouche deflected. Fine save by Creighton. Still it's alive though, and Creighton.
Oh my goodness.
And such a chance for Rafik Saifi. He, of all people, how on earth did he miss? It came to him quickly, and that's what saved Creighton. But the goalkeeper, from the sublime to the ridiculous in the space of 30 seconds.
Absolutely. Fantastic save here coming up from kraouche on the volley. Deflected. Wonderful piece of goalkeeping. It was actually deflected by Saifi. And then this one here, spilled by the keeper, and he just throws his right foot at it. And again, I would have bet money that he would have been able to get on the end of that. We've got to see another yellow card, and it's kraouche who just had that shot saved.
Well, what a passage of play that was. And the Algerians, after the opening game against Nigeria, will be wondering what they have to do to score. Well, the challenge was on Sebwe. I wonder if it was retaliation for the previous one. Forward now to Desiree, and Desiree is in here. Roberts is getting back. Just did enough to put him off. But not this time. And can he pick anyone out? Creighton did just enough. There was no one following in.
Disappointed again, the support. He's done really well, Desiree, getting forward. And again, no support. Busting had got to get in there from midfield. And he held it up for 2 or 3 seconds also.
Again, it's aimed to Desiree. This time he's playing it into Akrour. Half a chance.
You can't say they haven't created chances. They've created chances. Enough to be back at least on level terms. But you've got to put it in the back of the net. And Akrour here, he climbs, he gets up well, but he can't tuck his chin in, he can't hit the target. And this little man's done superb. Desiree here turns him inside out, looking for the support, wants to pull it back, but there's nobody else in there.
And 2 Algerian players, Hadou was one of them, were making the same run.
Well, you need somebody to bust a gut from midfield to get in on the edge of the box and then let them pull it back to the edge of the box where they can come and have a strike at goal, but there was no one there. And I'm looking again, the Algerian 2 central defenders, you know, Zeg dude, who's playing so deep it's untrue.
What a turn that was from Akrour, the substitute. Creighton fumbled it again. Akrour showing us what he can do.
He's made an impact coming on as a sub, there's no doubt about it.
This has certainly been Algeria's passage of play for the last 5 minutes or so, but can they make it count? kraouche. Desiree trying to get in there. It's a great effort from Kodjo. Hadou. Hadou trying to have a positive impact. Now Desiri. And it was always rising. How many of those have we seen in the tournament?
Well, he had a couple of players on his right-hand side he could have fed the ball to. Slatny had pushed on, Brad had pushed on, but he decided to go for the shot himself.
Well, back with Gawi, and he's barely had anything to do apart from the opening quarter hour of the game and the chance for Roberts away goes Kraouche. Been much more involved than he was against Nigeria. Saifi.
Still looking at this defence for Algeria, Dave, and this number 5, Zaid Daoud, who's playing 20-25 yards behind the last attacking player. And I mean, he's virtually all the time he's on the edge of his own box, and he's stretching the whole side. That's probably why they're not getting support forward, because you know they're so stretched out. Needs to push up an extra 15-20 yards.
There he is again, Zaid Daoud. He did change the defensive system since the first game, Madjer, and it's always risky, Jerry, isn't it?
He has, and I just feel that, you know, the sub, one of the players who did come in, Yassine Slatny, was at fault for the opening goal. Very clumsy in the challenge, and here he is on the ball now.
And didn't get that right at all. Sebwe to bring it clear. Weah. And Kelvin Sebwe again. Need a period of possession, Liberia. Akrour. Akrour under pressure from Kraouche. Now Deba. And it's Edward Dixon to break clear, and he's still going if he can get there. Gaoui did very well in the end, the keeper. Just put him off. Lively down that right side, Edward Dixon.
He's pushed forward 2 or 3 times. He's got a good turn of pace. He's willing, looking to get forward. Well, there's 2 of them there, Dave, honestly, and they're so far behind the rest of the defence. You just can't see them getting forward and supporting enough, and just don't see the necessity of it. There's 4 green shirts marking 1 man, and this system, as I said, is a problem for them. 1 up front, 1 on the hole, and George Weah floating, and they don't seem to be able to sort it out. Now, hang on a minute. ZZ Roberts has injured himself there in that last challenge.
He flew in. Again, a question of whether he can run it off. Ghazi was unable to. It's fairly comfortably mopped up by Akrour. Libéria playing in just their 2nd African Nations Cup. First was 6 years ago. They beat Gabon and lost to Zaire, 3-team group, after Nigeria pulled out of the tournament for political reasons. They still couldn't qualify, and it still hurts.
Just look at the shots. 12 shots from Algeria, only 3 from Liberia, but only 1 that's actually hit the target. That's the problem.
And in the same way that Liberia will look back on the ZZ Roberts miss, or that when he headed into the keeper, the Saifi miss for Algeria just about evens that out, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Well, 4 chances for Liberia, but 2 on target for them. Again, less of the play, less opportunities, but more clinical in front of goal. Maybe that's the difference between the 2 sides at the moment.
Desiri to take the free kick. Didn't clear the first defender. Mefta to launch it back in. Saifi was jumping. Now Bilal Desiri.
Well, there he is, still playing 20 yards behind everybody else.
Mefta. I think Madjer might think of changing things at half-time, at least assist him.
Well, they've created chances. He'll point to the fact that they've created a lot of chances, but their finishing's been poor. They've not really tested the goalkeeper enough. Maybe they've been a little bit unlucky as well, Dave, you know, with good goalkeeping and a couple of block challenges as well at the last vital second. But they're getting in there, they're just not finding the back of the net.
Slatney won the free kick, and that was the result of it.
Poor.
The fault is so consistent at times that you must feel like a broken record. The delivery into the penalty area just hasn't been good enough.
Exactly the same, and on that occasion of all people it was Saifi. Well, it was his right foot, which is not the better of the two, but you still expect good quality or decent quality surface into the box. If they're going to score goals, they're going to have to put better quality in.
Now Saifi gets it back from Desiri, passing at pace. It's what they're good at. There's no offside.
Oh, it's hit the post.
It's a great strike from the substitute akrour. And as well as some slack finishing, they can point to their luck, Algeria.
Oh, Dave, you just can't allow for that sort of thing. That is an absolutely brilliant strike from akrour. I'll tell you what, he's hit it absolutely sweet as a nut. And the thickness of the post is the difference between him scoring and Algeria still losing 1-0.
Creighton was beaten at his near post. Here's Desiri. They don't want half-time to come.
Oh.
Or maybe they do. They're definitely on top though, Algeria.
They are, but the frustration there, Desiri. Have a look at this. 1-2. Saifi looks up, delivers a perfect ball. He's onside. That's a brilliant strike. The keeper's beat. There's no way he's going to get to that Creighton. And he can't believe it. The substitute there, Nassim akrour. So unlucky.
He's looked very lively since he came on. Ghazi's injury mightn't be a bad thing for Algeria in the scheme of things. Now Saifi.
Good play.
Brilliant from Saifi, who's gone down.
Well, if it's anything, he's maybe obstructed a bit, but it's not a penalty kick. And again, you know, clever play, good cover here from Oliver akrour, coming into support. And he knows what's going to happen.
Well, Zizi Roberts at central defender was just about Liberia's outstanding player against Mali. He's been caught a few times here.
3 or 4 mistakes made by him and the goalkeeper, Louis Creighton. And somehow they've managed to keep it to no goals. A little bit of unfortunate for the Algerians because they played well enough to have scored at least a goal, Dave, I've got to say. But sometimes you've got to make your own luck and they've got to persevere.
Well, they'll do that. Aim forward again and the goalkeeper's come. Now surely Algeria have the goal and it's the substitute akrour. A minute of added time. They'd scored halfway into it. How critical this could be. Algeria, right on the stroke, have an equaliser and they've deserved it.
Well, as I said, you have to persevere, and he has persevered. Nassim akrour, and again, mix up between the centre half and the goalkeeper as the ball's played over the top. But he was brave, he kept his challenge coming. The goalkeeper, Louis Creighton, another blunder for him. And he got his good fortune on this occasion. As it's played over the top, the defender is put off maybe by the call, I've got to say, from Creighton, but you make your own luck. There it is, and they do deserve to be back. Jimmy Dixon, the defender who was at fault, but I think he's got a call there from Louis Creighton.
And if anyone deserved the goal as the half-time whistle goes, it's akrour.
Well, it's nonsense really. He's hit a fantastic screamer that's hit the post instead out, and then he gets a little bit of good fortune. And just look at the celebrations on the Algerian bench. Madjer has something to smile about at long last.
And something to take into his half-time team talk. Nassim Akrour, after Prince Dai had given Liberia the lead. And Jerry, we've had 2 goals and a half. What's going on?
Well, I said to you, it looks like it could be the turning of the tide. Good game as well, good opportunities, good chances, and super piece of play. And I think probably a fair scoreline. If anything, maybe Algeria should be in front, certainly on the opportunities they've created, Dave.
Well, it could be a wide open second half. Liberia will have to come out and play a little. But at half-time here in Bamako in the March to 26 stadium, it's Liberia 1, Algeria 1. Do stay with us.